Joining us now is Florida Congresswoman Cammack. Congresswoman, welcome to National Report. Thanks so much for coming on. Tell me your thoughts about what abortion access looks like in the state of Florida. Where do you stand on it?
Well, good to see you. And first and foremost, I have to say I am so lucky to live in a state where we have incredibly strong leadership out of our state officials. Of course, Governor Ron DeSantis at the helm, but it was actually our AG, our Attorney General, Ashley Moody, who within minutes of the district circuit judge issuing that ruling, that she filed an appeal, which has led to really the will of the people here in Florida to be upheld, which is that 15-week abortion ban. And again, I think what we've seen here in the last few weeks on this particular issue, it's really been a win on a couple of fronts. Certainly a win for the right to life and the advocacy that pro-life movement has been pushing for decades. But it's also been a win for the sanctity of our Constitution. Our entire system of government is predicated on this notion of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And we saw that SCOTUS ruled really for the sanctity of life, but also the sanctity of our Constitution. And so returning the issue through Dobbs v. Jackson to the states, you're now seeing states like Florida leading the charge in protecting life. And I couldn't be more proud of that. I think you see, just based on that chart, how truly controversial this issue really is. And each state, though, now, because of that Supreme Court ruling, has the ability to make the laws that work for their citizens. So again, being a Floridian, we love freedom. We love our Sunshine State and the leadership that we have here that values life. But it's going to be a hot topic moving forward in the next couple of months.
Indeed. The decisions come down really to the state legislature. Those lawmakers are elected by residents of the state, giving the power to the voters to really voice their concerns and where they stand on the matter, and then elect officials with similar viewpoints. I wanted to ask you, though, about the companies that have really come out, and some of them, as you see on your screen, some of them like Disney, who are vowing to cover the travel costs for women who are seeking abortions outside of their states. Do you have a message for those companies that are providing this financial support?
Yeah, it's interesting how they like to choose a la carte the human rights issues that they're going to uphold. They seem to have messages like Black Lives Matter on certain times of the year. But when it comes to all lives or unborn lives, they don't seem to give a damn. And so it's really interesting that as these companies continue to push out this woke messaging to try to appease this limousine liberal base that is growing across the country, they're also really quiet when it comes to the fact that many of these companies do not offer maternity leave or paid maternity leave. They don't want to support working moms. So it seems to me that they would rather encourage their female employees to go get abortions that they're willing to cover. But when it comes to supporting working moms and empowering women, they seem to be deafeningly silent. So I think that we're going to see a lot more to come on that. Being pro-life means while in the womb, but also in the months and weeks and years ahead. So we're working on legislation to make adoption more accessible, more affordable. We're working on ways to support working moms, because that's what the pro-life movement is all about. It's about empowering women, and being part of the post-Roe generation means that we have a tremendous responsibility to stand up for our women.
The state of California has a very different approach when it comes to abortion access. And we've heard from the governor, Gavin Newsom, essentially ensuring a woman's right to choose. In fact, we saw this during a recent ad that aired in your state of Florida. Let's watch part of his messaging together.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight, or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, freedom from hate, and the freedom to love. Don't let them take your freedom.
He chose to air that in Florida. Do you think it resonated with residents of your state?
He would have been better off taking all that cash that it cost him to do that and just lighting it on fire. there's a saying in politics that you never punch down. And so clearly what we're seeing here is a pathetic attempt by Governor Newsom to take a swipe at our governor, Ron DeSantis, who is now being known as America's governor because he stands up for families and individuals and businesses, where you see 60,000 Californians over the last 3 years now getting Florida driver's licenses. They're fleeing California because of oppression, not because of freedom. Give me a break. They're 20th in education. Florida, we're number 3. We have lowest unemployment and low taxes in the country. They have some of the highest. Cato ranks us as one of the freest states in the union. And he has the nerve to come out and try to recruit Floridians back to California. If it wasn't so sad, it would be funny. But I mean, what do you expect when you have a guy who's related to Nancy Pelosi and has lower approval ratings than Joe Biden? It's just sad and comical, and it provided a little bit of levity to an interesting weekend, we'll say.
Maybe some of those new Floridian residents who came from California saw that familiar face, but the big question is, would they head back anytime soon? Florida Congresswoman Kat Cammack joining us this morning. Thank you so much. Appreciate the conversation.
Appreciate it. Have a great week.
Thanks.